Do local citations still matter in 2024? I'm going to go on the record and say I am a citations hater. I've gotten results without touching citations, but I've seen some recent research that's getting me to think differently. The reason why I'm a hater is because of research like this. Look, the citation signals are 7% of the map pack and 7% of local organic. There's so many other things you should be doing before you do citations, and yet you have these productized nationwide agencies that are like pushing citations as the main thing you should do for local SEO. I don't buy it. But then I watched this video recently from WhiteSpark, and they talked about how that research done by not WhiteSpark is showing that not only is there an increase in stuff like impressions when you do citations, but also with things like phone calls, website clicks, and driving directions. So maybe it is still worth doing. I should mention the WhiteSpark sells citation building programs, so maybe there's a little conflict of interest there. But in the spirit of being thorough, of making sure no stone is left unturned, I have to answer the question, are citations still worth it for local SEO in 2024? And the only way I can do that is to go out and do my own research. That's right, people. It is a live case study, and we're going to start with this part 1 video of whether or not local citations are still worth it. And so in this video, I'm going to break down how to get local citations. In case we haven't met before, my name is Sam Sarson. I'm the founder of Then Can Designs, an agency out in Bend, Oregon, an SEO agency. And you may have been following the Steal My SEO strategy, and there we are, number 1 in the map pack. We like to see that. But I'm always looking diligently for more opportunities, particularly to help my clients. And so I just can't ignore local citations. Let me break down how we're going to do this. I have 3 clients that I've secretly selected for this experiment, if you will. And I've also looked at 3 different ways to get local citations, and we're going to try them out based on their needs. The first client is a roofing company, and I'll just let you guys know they're ranking really poorly, but that's because they just launched their website. And like a lot of websites that are launching since this March core update, they're having a hard time getting some of their pages to rank, or sorry, not to rank, to index right away. And so I figured, why not send a little bit more juice, maybe boost up that domain authority, and let's see if we can get the page to move up. We're around 50th right now, which isn't too bad for a super competitive keyword, but again, I'm just having issues indexing the site right now, and so we need Google to have a little bit more proof that this site exists. Citations have been around for a long time. If we were talking 2019, it'd be the first thing we did for local SEO, but it's not 2019, but it's still something we should be looking at. So that will be one of the clients we'll be looking at. Let's check out the next one. This one is a custom cabinet maker, and in this case, we're actually looking at the service page. And so if we look in the map pack here, I think he's showing up like 6. That's pretty good. You can't see because I'm in front. There he is, 6. So we like that. And then if we go back to the organic results, not bad, around 10th. Okay, so we're pretty happy about that. We're above the first response result. So I think that puts us at 10th-ish, give or take, maybe even higher than that. But anyway, he's been kind of stuck, and a lot of the competition that's above him has been there a lot longer. They're also like bigger companies. We also have like an aggregate listing like House. So I'm wondering what would happen if we gave him a little bit more juice and we pointed it specifically at this service page. So that's something I wanted to try. And so we're going to try and see if this helps out here. See if we can get him a little bit of juice, get him a little bit of a bump. And then our last client is a florist in Redmond, and you can see there she is, number 1 in the map pack, which we like to see, but been stuck at number 3 in organic. And I've done a lot of stuff, and I'm like, man, what am I missing? And when I look at the backlinks, I can see that the competition has used citation builders before, and so I'm like, that's like the one piece that's still missing. So I'm like, why not, right? Why not fill out these citation things and move on with it, and just, you know, it can't hurt, right? That's the point I'm at. It can't hurt, so let's do it. And so that's 3 examples for you right there. One is a new website that isn't really indexing, all right? And if you have a site that launches in 2024 after March, you might run into that same issue. So we'll see if that helps with that. We have a service page, which is the main service that is kind of stuck around the first page, which is still kind of too low to really get results, right? Our guy's getting a lot of business from his other services, which are ranking higher, but we need to get that page up higher. So let's see if we can grease the wheels. And then we have somebody that's got good Google business profile rankings, #1 in the map pack. We love that, but is stuck in organic. And so we want to see if we can, really work against those, the top-notch competitors, all right? So we're trying to see if this is that nudge. And before we dig into the options that we're going to look into, I should mention that even though I'm doing this on a new website, I'm not advocating that citations should be this thing that you do early on. Much like building out blogs for local businesses where we should be focusing on commercial intent keywords, citations, I think, are kind of a last-ditch effort, or a few months down the road, let's bang out these citations and let's move on. One thing I've heard from a lot of the experts is if you're going to do citations, it's not so important to use a tool that constantly is checking for that consistency, right? That NAP, that name, address, phone consistency that used to be so important back in 2019. It's 2024, it's not that important, but getting these links pointing to us can be helpful. And I'm not gonna lie, I got a secret reason why I'm doing this too, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. So let's look at the 3 options that I've selected for getting these citations. Now there are a lot of reputable citation building programs out there. Whitespark's one of them. They have like a really straightforward flat fee now that's like $350 one time you're in. They also have like a custom thing where you can buy them one at a time. It's about $4 if you're not doing it in bulk. And so when I looked at Brightlocal, it's $3.20 per. So we're actually going to use Brightlocal as one of the tools. It's probably one of the top citation building programs out there. And so I figured, why not? It's really easy to use. I was kind of dabbling with it the other day. So we're going to go through and I'm going to show you guys how to actually do that with one of our clients here. So I want you to see that. The next option I wanted to look at is I noticed that if you go around, there's a lot of people that I feel like are middlemen to things like Brightlocal or Whitespark, because those are the big citation builders nowadays. And so on one end of the spectrum, you have digital marketing agencies that offer packages around, $100. And then you have people on like Fiverr that offer packages that are around like $50. And so the way it works is they buy a lot of credits for Brightlocal and then they resell them. And so it's not bad. It's just, what do you want to do? And so I decided I wanted to try both of those options. And so when I was doing my research, I found this guy out on the YouTubes. And, just like you guys found me on the YouTubes, I find people on the YouTubes. And he had a link to his service. And so he's got 60 premium citations for $70. And basically, what my research is telling me is we need somewhere between 50 and 100. That's like kind of the sweet spot right now. We don't need anything more than that. And so that was kind of my take. So one of our options is going to be using a digital marketing agency that offers this productized citation building service. And then the last option we're going to do is Fiverr. Yeah, we're doing it. We're going to Fiverr. I know everybody's been wanting me to go on Fiverr and do something. So I'm going to show you how I vetted a company. I'm going to show you the messages I actually sent them. And then we're going to go through the process of actually buying the product. Now there will be little, chapters below. So if you want to follow one in particular, one method in particular, you should do that now, because I'm going to literally walk through this. So it's going to be a little slow. I'm going to try to cut out as much crap as possible, so that way you don't get any boring stuff. But I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Brightlocal, digital marketing agency, Fiverr. Okay. And so if you want to follow one of those in particular, go ahead and skip ahead right now. But if you're along for the journey, let's get started with Brightlocal. All right, so here we are on Brightlocal's page, just on the home page here. Let's go ahead and hit Build Citations and see where that takes us. Okay, so it's having me sign in, but I already have an account, so I'm going to log in. Okay, so I had an old account and I clicked on Citation Builder. It's telling me to switch to Simply Listing. So let's see if I can do that. Okay, so here we are, Citation Builder. I got one that was kind of started for my business. That's what gave me a good idea of the pricing. And so, oh, I should have mentioned, dang it, I always have these great ideas, then I forget to mention them. So my goal for all of these is to spend $100 or less per campaign. All right, so per client, we've got $100 per client, and my goal is to spend less than that for each one. I know Brightlocal is the most expensive, so that's probably going to be the one we have the most issues with, but let's see if I can do that, keep it under a $100 budget. So there's Dencan Designs. My plan is to steal my SEO strategy number 5 off of the results of this video. But first we got to do some research. So, okay, we're going to start a new campaign. Click that button right there. And now let's start working on the campaign details. I think I'm going to have to add a location. Sure enough, so now it's going to have me find the business using Google. So let's see if it shows up. It might not. It's kind of a newer Google business profile. So I couldn't find it. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to put all the information right here. And also, one of the reasons why I'm choosing Brightlocal for this business is this is a service area business. They operate out of their home. And so I noticed with Brightlocal, it seemed like it would be the easiest to hide service area addresses. And it seems like you get a lot of control if you're directly interfacing with Brightlocal. And I feel like I'll have less of that option with the other two. I'll have less control with the other two options. So let's get back into it. I'm just going to fill out the information here and we'll check back in. Okay, so I entered the information. It's telling me I can connect. I don't see why it would hurt to connect Google Business Profile, so let's do that. This is taking forever. I need to clean up some of these Google Business Profiles. What do you guys think of my new sweatshirt? I showed up at the mountain without a jacket on the other day, and so I had to pay $50 for a sweatshirt. So, you know, shout out to the new sweatshirt. There it goes. There goes half of this. $100. It's still loading. I can't click off of it. Great. All right, I think I got it unstuck. Turns out you got to do the phone number, you know, with just dashes. So make sure you do that. Let's go to step 2. Okay, so now it's checking to see where there are citations elsewhere. And when I did this before, it took about, I don't know, about 5 minutes. So we're going to kick back for a second. We're going to do some other things, and we'll pop back when this is done. All right, we're in there. Okay. So here's our order screen. This is where we actually get to pick the citations that we're going to have. So this is really cool. So the first thing, it noticed that the location was actually the home address. So that's really cool. And so I'm going to click hide. And one thing I'm going to cheat ahead is down here, you can actually hide the address in a lot of these things. So that's good. And it's not recommending things like Apple Maps, which we won't be able to do for them. So that's fine. Okay, so we're going to go down and I want to show you. So first things first is you have these manual submissions. So it appears that somebody at Brightlocal is manually submitting the listings, and you can pick how many you want to do. So right now it's picked 30. So that's kind of low, but that's okay, right? Like I said, 50 to 100 seems to be the sweet spot, but we're paying about $3.20 per, so that's why we're getting that number of like 96 for these credits. And then here it says remove harmful duplicate listings recommended. I'm going to check that off because I'm just going to go through and check this myself. And then down on the next one thing I've noticed, so these are these aggregators, and so you could check all of these for $67.50 and get added to these aggregators. But I've noticed that when it comes to roofing in this area, everybody's on the Yellow Pages network. And so what I'm actually going to do is, instead of selecting all of them, I'm willing to invest a quarter of my investment in the YP network, the Yellow Pages network. And then we can add a sync and post for 12 months where I can do that. Let's see here. That's kind of cool. It's a GBP post scheduler as well. And then we have our new citations availability. So one thing that you can do here to save a little bit of money is you can be like, okay, well, which ones am I already on? I'm already on Google, so I'm not worried about that. And I know we're already on Yelp, so I'm not worried about that either. And so one thing that you can do is a very specific Google search to see where you're already showing up. So in case you didn't know about this, if you want to see the pages that are indexed, and it's not very many, there are more pages for this website, so that's unfortunate, you do cite:, and the website. And so what we're actually going to do is we're going to do minus site, but then we're going to do the address here after that in quotes, and let's see what pops up. Yelp. Okay, so that's what I thought. We have Yelp, and we also have some weird sponsor result for directory. Who are you? Anyway, so we have a account for Yelp already, and it looks like we're not showing up on Bing, and I also know that they're on Better Business Bureau. So we could take off Bing, and if they have Better Business Bureau on here, we can take that off. I know that's one of the ones that some of these do. Let's see, BBB, Better, nope, okay, so we're good there, so we don't have to worry about that. So we got our Yellow Pages network here, and then our problem right now is our price is over $121. So let's see if we can get that down here. Let's see, what's 25 credits? Ooh, 105. Well, how about this? I'm going to spend 105 for our roofing friends, and I'm going to take $5 out of one of our other ones. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're at 105. I'm willing to do that. So let's go here, and so now we've got 27 selected. And so they've smartly removed any of the ones that you can't do an address for. So now let's look and see if there's any low ones. See that? See how it gives you like citation value? So let's knock off this low one. Company.com, that sounds lame, huh? Catskill.com, I don't know what that means. That's a low one. Here's another low one. yplocal.us. Or we could be in, let's see if any of these are high. High. Selects.us. Now, another thing I noticed too is that if you look at these, the little square things right here, usually they'll tell you like how you get verified and stuff like that. So, a year of company formation. Okay. Please be guided before ordering a listing from this site. Okay. Only update existing listings in Compass. So that's not going to be helpful for us. So we can take that off. The site functions as a niche directory solely for buying and selling purposes, B2B only. So we'll take that off because they're mostly B2C. It's notorious for auto updating addresses. That's fine. It says direct listing site. We don't sign up. Okay. Requires your business name, address, and phone number to match what's listed on the website. Category must match what the business is selling. Must not live. Must be live and not under construction. Okay, that should be fine. And then it trades is now Yplocal. Okay, we'll put that one back on. And then how many credits we got? We got 24. Let's do one more. All right. Hey, look, our old friend Link Century. I don't know if anybody else watched the previous video where I made fun of the name of that. But anyway, there we go. Okay, so we got our credits. We're spending $105 exactly. So we're $5 over budget here, but we're going to make it up on the next couple accounts. So I'm not really sure what to do here. Okay, here we go. Confirm and continue. All right, so it's saying, do you want to do an external URL for the campaign? That's if you want to like share it with a client. It's reviewing, then it has the address here. Right here it's saying, do you want to show that? I've checked no. I'm going to scroll down to get over the address. And then I'm going to put some contact information here. I think I'm going to put the business owner's name. All right, so that's done. Now it's asking for a description. We only have 500 characters, which is a little bit less than Google Business Profile. So I'm going to use that as kind of a base and just kind of rejigger it. All right, that looks pretty good. We even got the CCB in there. I'm liking it. Okay, so now we've got to be careful. We want to put the right things. So roof. I don't know. Let me see. What other services do we have here? All right, threw some services in there. Now let's do the hours and payment. I think they're okay with all this stuff. So that should be good. And then I'll put the hours in and we'll move on. All right, so I added some images. You can put campaign notes. I don't think that's necessary for what we're doing. Email alerts, I put in my email here. And you can buy a bunch of credits if you do this consistently. And so, I mean, this would be something where like, if I do this a lot, it might be worth buying the credits because you can get it down to about $2 per result as opposed to $3.20, but I don't know. So we're just gonna do card and let's see, agree to the terms and conditions and let's try to pay. One thing I should note is the mobile number has to be different than the business number. So that, I mean, that's just worth noting. So that I ran into that hiccup. So now we're getting ready to pay over here. So let's see, blah, 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 $105, looks legit. And I think you guys know how billing screen works. So we'll pause here. All right, I had to do a verification code to my credit card, so you might see that as well. But it looks like that was pretty straightforward. And here you go. So this is the way it works. So they said they guarantee 70% of the citations will be live at about 4 weeks after submission. So they can review the data, they can submit to the sites, we're going to get checks, and then it'll be complete. Okay, so that's the process with Brightlocal. It was pretty straightforward. It was nice that we could customize things. I really appreciated that. So, okay, so that's the way it works with Brightlocal. Now we're going to move on to our next means of getting local citations in 2024. Now we're going to look at using a digital marketing agency that has this productized citation listing service, and it's going to be a little bit more premium than what we'll see on Fiverr, a little bit fewer backlinks, but that's okay, right? And I know you could look these up. I know there's stuff like Hoth and things out there, but I like this guy. Like I said, I found him. I really enjoyed his video. You can't see what the heck I'm showing you. There we go. I like this guy's video. And so, you know, you can find the video on YouTube, and I'll put the link in the description so you can just jump straight to this right here. But you click that link. He's got backlink services, and I'll see if I can just link straight to this page right here. I think I can. And again, none of this stuff, I don't think I mentioned this, none of this stuff is sponsored. Okay, none of this stuff is sponsored. But as we can see, $70, all right, up at the top, $70. Okay, well within budget. We get our $5 back that we lost. And then here, you know, he brings up a good point. Affordable, you know, normally Brightlocal, White Spark, they charge about $2 per listing. So this is like, I don't know, what is it? It's like $1.17 per listing. So no problem. Another thing that I like, I highly recommend that you do this, is do not use anybody unless you can look at the list of the citations. And so if you click there, we can actually see the citation list. And this is nice because now we can vet it. We can look and be like, okay, who are they using? Do we not want them to do that? One thing I've noticed is, just to check a box, a lot of places are going to do stuff like Better Business Bureau. They're going, let me see if I can zoom in here. Let me get out of the way here. So, you know, Better Business Bureau, well, you might already be on there. You might already be on Bing. You might already be on Yelp. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Citygrid, blah, 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 blah. And one thing you'll notice too, you might already be on Facebook. You don't want another profile out there, right? Let's see. Yahoo search, interesting. We might need to be on Apple Maps. Okay, so that all looks good. And one thing that you could do too is, if you're not sure if the list is good, go back to Brightlocal, get to that step that we got to where it's recommending a list of like citations, or go to a website like Moz and check their citation list and just see if it's showing up. So it's giving us about 76 here. So what we'll do is, when we put in the request, let's say, please don't list where we're already listed. Now they might do that, but just in case. So let's go back to our little search that we had right here, right? This is Bing. Hold on. Here we go. So now we're going to, remember, it's -site : and the full address. And then in quotes, it's going to be the actual website right there. All right. So we have the Instagram, the Yelp, Facebook, and my local services. I think I filled that out. So if that's part of our list here, let's see. My local, nope, or whoops, that's all one word. My local, nope. Okay, so we're fine there. So that's pretty much it. Okay, that's pretty much all we got right now. So we want to make sure that we're not showing up for anything else. So I'm just going to do a quick search for the business. This one's a little less unique than the last roofing company. There were a lot of them with that name, and just see if there are any other websites that were listed for that we're not sure of right now. All right, so I think I have the list of what we need. So that's $70. Let's click buy now. All right, straight to payment. I like your style. Oh, okay, boom, card, and let's get into it. I think you guys know how to make a payment. Okay, so now it's actually, before we make the payment, it's having us put the information in here. And so let's go name, address, phone. So I'm going to put all this stuff in, and then I'm going to put the business description. They said 250 words. So I think we can copy the Google Business Profile. I might tighten it up just a little bit and use like a character counter to keep it under 500 characters like the last one. Because I think they're using Brightlocal behind the scenes, but I don't know. So after I did the NAP stuff, it brought me to a Stripe payment page. So I feel pretty secure right now. Okay, so right after the payment process, it went straight to just the home page of the website. And so that was sketchy, but I checked in my email and it says the payment went through. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. So that's good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to respond to this email right here. Let's see here. How the heck do I respond? Yeah, that looks like the guy's name because I was looking him up earlier. I was like, this dude legit. So, okay, I'm going to respond to the email right now. I'm going to reply and I'm going to say, please don't make listings for these websites. All right, so I kept it brief. You know, I just submitted an order for, you know, the website. Thanks for your awesome service. Can you please not create listings for Yelp and Facebook? Please feel free to do your thing with REST citations. Many thanks, Sam. Kept it simple, right? So let's send that email. And I mean, that's it, right? So that's what happens when you work with a digital marketing agency. You're just going to pay on Stripe and you're just kind of going to hope for the best. And so my take here is it says it takes, let's see, let me get back to the page here. It says it takes 14 to 28 days for delivery. That's the estimated time of arrival. So that means it could come in after that. But that's what we got from Brightlocal too. So, I mean, so far, I mean, that was really easy. It feels like we didn't give him enough information, but maybe what he's doing is he's, you know, because he's not doing this stuff at this point, if his website's that big, he's probably got some VAs that are doing this, and they might go out to the Google Business Profile, scrape the information, go out to the website, scrape the information. If they hit a snag, then they'll reach back out and be like, hey, what are the hours? What's this? What's that? But they'll be able to get all that off the website, off the Google Business Profile. And so probably 90% of the time they're able to do that once people are filling out citations, especially through a service like this. So anyway, that so far so good. I'm curious to see the results, but I mean, that should be good. Oh, one thing I should mention now is if you sign up for any of these things, you want to make sure that you have access to the login. So in case they do mess up, we can always go through it and just manually fix these ourselves. It's not ideal, but we want to have access to that. And that is going to be an excellent segue for us to start talking about Fiverr. You guys ready? Let's get into it. Here we are on Fiverr. In case you've never used Fiverr before, then there's a couple things I want you to learn before you get started. So the first thing is that there's a lot of ads. The second thing is that you gotta vet these people, right? And what I mean by that, really, the biggest thing is that a lot of these people get busy fast. They come up with a great service, it's super cheap, it's a race to the bottom, right? But that means that at the end of the day, they might be too busy. And so you got to reach out to these people first, or you're just going to waste your time. Okay. And so just to check in, you know, we're trying to do $100 per. We are at $175 between two. So let's see if we can get this third one in. We're not going to get under $200, but let's see how we can do here. And so the first thing I notice here is there's these ones that are pushed, but look, see how they're all ads? See that little thing right there? Ads. I mean, I get it, right? Like ads can be good, but I want ads that aren't, or I want listings that aren't ads. And so one thing I'm noticing is, okay, so we got JIT over here. This guy's Fiverr's Choice. Okay, I like that. Global SEO Agency. That's a very optimized name. Level 2, we got somebody that appears to be in America. We got top 300 listings, and then it starts to get increasingly insane. We have another one that appears to be in America, several $100s, and then we got, I will do 99,000 Google Maps citations. Like what? 14,000. Like, whoa, what are they doing? Like you just know they're not good. And so anyway, I did some looking. I ended up clicking on JIT, who has ads too, and Global SEO Agency, who has ads too. And I kind of looked at these, you know, these packages. And so what I like to do is I like to read through the thing here. So what do they do? You know, this is talking a little bit more about Google My Business, and so that kind of scared me a little bit. But then if you look here, it talks about, you know, it's 100 citations for $30, and you can get it done in 2 days for $10. Okay, so that's $40. And then if we go to this one, this seemed a little more on the nose for citations, and then talks about what they do, and these are their packages, and so you get 90 citations in 3 days for $35. And so I want to try to speed this up, so I'm willing to spend the $5. So 35, so that puts us at $210 total. All right, so let's see here. So we're gonna check that out in a second. Dang it, Fiverr was offering me 10% off earlier. Where did that go? Let's see if I can find that. But anyway, so the next thing you have to do is you have to send messages to these people. Okay, you got to send messages to make sure that they have the capacity to do it. And I'm not saying they have to respond to you within an hour, which is what their little thing in the corner says, like, hey, they respond within an hour. That's great, but I'm more concerned that they respond at all. And so I did that tonight, and I'm doing it kind of late because that'll usually line up with their hours of where they're at, right on the other side of the world, of the middle of the day. And so they should be getting back within a few hours in their normal business hours. So I usually try to do this stuff late at night. Our man Jit came through with an automated message, but then did not respond. But Global SEO Agency did. And so I usually just start off with something like, do you have capacity to do a local citation project right now? And you want to do that message on the gig, because then that will let them, it'll link back to the gig so they know. And he says, I got a team that does it. We could start right now. Awesome. I said, I'm looking at that. Can you give me a list of the citations? They gave me this sample report, which is for their 30, which is their basic package. And I was looking at these, and I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm ballparking it here. And so I see stuff like Manta, probably Manta. House, I'm not really sure how they get posted on House. Local home service pros, I've seen that before in these citation things. Okay, so that looks, Bark, I've seen that before. And then one thing I noticed too, and so this is kind of a cool little hack here if you're looking in the future and like this guy doesn't exist anymore, is one of the reviews, somebody actually posted their spreadsheet they got. Now I'm going to try to be careful and not show the passwords because that's on there. So hopefully they didn't do that, but I can kind of look through here and see like, okay, are any of these good? There's Links Entry, so they got to be good, right? There's our friends. Oh, God. But anyway, so he's got the whole shebang here, and so everybody's got 60. There's Yellow Dot Place, which we just saw on whatchamacallit, Brightlocal. So anyway, yeah, seems legit. Let's click off of that. So okay, so now let's do it. Let's see if I can find that 10% off deal I had somewhere. Hell, it's gone. All right, so in case you've never bought anything on Fiverr before, this is kind of the process. You pick the package that you want. So we'll do that. We'll hit continue. And then we do not want to subscribe and save. Single order. But we do want extra fast 3-day delivery. Yeah, it's only 2 days faster. Yeah, whatever. Why not, right? It's $5. Let's say continue. And one thing I should mention too is like at the end of the day, you're going to tip this person. So think about that in your cost too. So it's really going to be, I don't know, I'll probably tip them like 50% because it's nothing, right? But yeah, so they already got my card stored. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. I should mention there's a service fee right now, $4.43. So it's actually $39.43. All right, so now we're going to fill out the name, address, phone stuff. And so one thing I think is interesting is that the last one didn't ask for like, oh shoot, I was supposed to do it for the service page. Dang it. Okay, we're gonna send an email, a follow-up email right now to rectify that. But they didn't ask for like the services, so that's interesting. I'm sure a lot of those have that, so that's interesting. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to fill this out. So they asked for the business name, address, phone number, business description, keywords, which I thought was interesting, contact name, business email, ID, logo, which I attached, and then the business hours and the website URL. So let's click start order. And then I just dropped a message to let me know if you have any questions or need any more details. Thank you. And that's how we do Fiverr. So there we go. Let's see, what was our total amount? $214.43 for 3 clients, The first one getting roughly 25 really high quality citations, as well as being listed on the YP aggregator network, so that's always a good thing to do. Our second client got 70 higher quality backlinks citations or 60 citations for $70. And then the last one is getting allegedly 90 for $39.43. So we were able to keep it under $100 for each one. Some of them are cheaper than others. Some of them appear to be higher quality than others. The big thing we want to think about here when we're comparing these right now in this initial phase is that they all pretty much took the same amount of time to set up. The digital marketing agency and Fiverr were admittedly faster, but they asked for less questions. So that makes me think there might be a quality piece that's missing. So we need to watch out for that. We also have much less control with the cheaper two options. So right now that makes me lean towards Brightlocal being the best choice moving forward. But remember, to get the same number of citations that we got from those options, we're looking at paying probably north of $200, which is 3 times what we paid for the digital marketing agency and 5 times what we paid on Fiverr. So I don't know if it balances out. The way we're going to find out though is by looking at results. And I will tell you that as somebody that attended a top research university in this country, go Beavs, I know that this was not a meta-analysis. This was not a double-blind controlled study. This was very anecdotal, and there is no way to control for external factors. But I felt like these were 3 good case studies because the new website, we don't even have an SEO plan going for it yet. So there's a chance that that could be a good case study as we leave it alone. But mostly I just want to see if we could get some extra juice going to that site. The cabinet maker, we're actually focused on a different page right now. We're working on something really specific. So I felt like I could give some specific energy to that service page. So that's what we're going to do there. And then for the florist, we're actually moving on to a different website. And so since we're kind of leaving that one behind, I was like, well, maybe some of this link juice will help get that organic result to float up a little bit. And so they are good case studies because I am trying to use them as controls. And so I don't do this all the time to my clients. I'm not running these weird little experiments. So these were kind of good pockets of where I could do this. And so we're going to give it about 6 to 12 weeks to let the dust settle, and then we're going to check back in, we're going to see the results, and then we're going to decide, like, is it worth doing citations at all? And if we do, which one should we go with? And so if you've been sticking around with me for this whole time and you're starting to think like, man, local SEO is a lot, and I'm not even sure what I need to do. Should I be doing citations, or are there other things, quicker wins, lower hanging fruit that you should be focusing on? Well, don't worry. Let me figure that out for you. That's right. Just go to thencandesigns.com/review and look at this. You get 3 actionable items in a video, and it's super easy to fill out. You just put in your email, you put your website, thencandesigns.com, of course. You put your name, that's me, your business name. Look, it's going to be so fast. I know you're like, I don't want to stick with you, Sam, but don't worry. It's going to, what do you need help? What are you looking for? Like, I'm trying to hit the map pack, right? Something like that. How's your existing marketing going? Oh, not thrilled with the results, right? What's your approximate annual revenue? That just gives me an idea of what you should be looking for, what's your monthly marketing budget, and are you ready to roll today? Let's do it. Click next, you're done. And then what do you get in return? Well, one, you get my mug talking directly to you. I'll go through your website and see if there's anything funky going on, like stuff not loading. And then what we'll do is, I'll bust out things like SEMrush, and we'll take a look at the keywords that you should be ranking for. And let's see what else we got here. Of course, one of my other favorite tools, Detailed, and we'll take a look at your site. We'll take a look at the search engine result page, check out the map pack. And, at the end, I always leave you with some actionable items. And, the cool thing is that sometimes people choose to work with me off of this video, but my primary core value is service. And so if I can help you with this video, I'm always down to record it. And obviously I do it because I hope that a small fraction of people will work with me, and I hope to get you great results on the back end of that. But I mean, really, I'm just doing this to help people. I heard a really cool story of somebody that did the Google Business Profile Master class recently. They just watched the video, followed the steps, and they reached the map pack because of what they got off of it. And I thought that was cool. That dude's giving me $0. Actually, it's the person I buy my business insurance from, so I'm actually giving him way more money than he's ever given me, which is 0. So, lordy. Anyway, that's enough of that. Then candesigns.com/review. Get your free marketing review today. And if you want to keep up with the latest news when it comes to SEO, go to yoursmallbizseosuccess.com. There's a link in the description in case you couldn't remember all that. I just made a really big announcement, and I want to make sure that you're staying up to date on that announcement because it's really impactful, especially if you're trying to keep up with local SEO. So every week I'm going to be reiterating that news. So in case you missed last week, don't worry, just sign up for the newsletter and you'll hear about it next week. So big announcement going on there. I'm excited to announce it here on the channel, but I gotta get the subscribers on the email list first. And so speaking of subscribing, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that way you don't miss part 2 to this video, which if it's the future, it'll be right there. And of course, we'll have another really cool video right there. And so my small biz owner out there that's trying to help yourself rank a little bit higher, I will catch you in the next video.